Y'all on the main page?
Yeah.
Y'all live. I think the audio is good. Yeah, the audio is good.
All right, hey, shalom. Almost before we get started, giving all praise and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Chakudash.
Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us truth. All right, peace, much love, beside taste it up for elect. All right, so Great Millstone Nashville Camp out here once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai. All right, May 14th. Yeah, May 14th, 2022. Year of Yahweh Shemashai turning up. Once again, out here prophesying the downfall of the wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great, as you people know, is America. Letting our people know, you so-called blacks, Native American Latinos, that you the true biblical Israelites. Okay, according to the Bible, you are the Israelites, and it's high time to wake out of sleep. All right, and part of that sleep that you're in is this Christianity mindset that's been placed upon you. Okay, the prosperity doctrine. All right, if the Most High has truly chosen you, all right, you are going to be going through hell. All right, it's not once you turn to the Lord. First off, you don't turn to the Lord. The Most High chooses you. And brother want to get that. All right, but once the Most High calls you out of this earth, you're going to catch hell on all aspects of life. This is part of it. Okay, so go ahead, bro.
Oh, you wanted what the John? I think it's John 15, or you wanted the scripture out there first?
Whichever one whichever one.
This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse. Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 9. And when I looked, and behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe.
Right, because Christianity doesn't talk about the bad side, if you will, of the scriptures, man. Okay, about the death that's going to come upon this earth, the calamities that's going to come upon this earth. They think it's just all hugs and kisses, rainbows, birds, and to top it off, the icing on the cake, some random ass white nigga coming out the clouds. Parents on each side, open arms, baby angels. Yeah, baby angels. Weirdo shit. Weirdo doctrine, man. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah 30, 9 to 10, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which is only given to the Israelites, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Yeah, that's what they're used to. So that's why when people walk by or click on the video, they're used to Christianity. So when they come towards us, they expect us to do the same. That's just simply not what's going to happen. All right, the truth of Yahweh Shemashai will be spoken whether you agree with it or not. Whether you hear it from there. We're not out here to get the masses of people because, quite frankly, we don't give two fucks about the masses of people. Okay? The masses of people are going to die a terrible death. Thus saith the scriptures. All right, what is that? More to them that perish. Go ahead.
Proverbs 20 and 17, right of deceit.
It's like that. That little nigga probably like 12, 13. He already through. And the other nigga, see, the shit lock nigga. These people, this is why we don't care about the masses of our people, man. Because they finished.
Let the multitude be born in vain.
Yeah.
The multitude perish, which was born in vain.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, and that doesn't come with Christianity. Christianity doesn't tell you things like that. And that's a scripture.
Right.
And these aren't out of our words, like the brother quoted. Let the multitude perish that was born in vain, meaning what? These niggas were literally born to die. And people have a hard time accepting it. We don't.
Yeah.
In the spirit. So it's fine for us. All right? Finish it up. Or it's like...
Born in vain, because we know, as an Israelite, especially an Israelite male, your duty, according to Ecclesiastes 12:13, is to fear God and keep His commandments.
Yeah.
So if you're not fulfilling the whole purpose, the whole duty of being created in the first place, your existence right now is vanity, which means it's pointless. It has work. There's no point right now.
Yeah.
That's why you're gonna get wiped off the map. But, Proverbs 20:17, bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. I just read it.
Oh, read it again.
Proverbs 20:17, bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel.
These things may seem, you know, certain shit might seem sweet at first, and it's just because it feels good does not mean that it's good for you. Yeah, most definitely doesn't mean it's true. All right. At the end of the day, hey, the Christianity doctrine is completely finished. You know, and years on top of years, the apostles and the elders, starting apostle on down, they've been debunking this, you know, this madness. Yeah, kind of pulling down the strongholds. All right, so it's been finished, you know, but but people still trying to cling to it. People still trying to find a way out through Christianity. Christianity is your way to a missile. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that.
Well, Christianity is like milk chocolate. That shit tastes good, but dark chocolate is bitter. It's actually better for you.
Yeah.
So the truth is that dark chocolate, because it's bitter, but it's the truth. You're going to die if you don't repent. Like, not repent to white Jesus, because I did a lesson earlier this week talking about going into the sinner's prayer. That's that, they call it charismatic Christianity. Billy Graham, the people that you see on TV, they have a little saying, today, May 14th, I'm a sinner, and I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And that's it. So here it is. This damn devil can go and break Rob out of home, or then on his deathbed, he can say these 20 words, and he go off to be in heaven. But then Jake, this nigga here, Jake, he'll go out here and be 12 and get caught up in a homicide, but he go to hell.
Yeah.
So then where's the balance? That's why you got to understand the scripture. That was his judgment to die that way. But in the kingdom, you know, he'll be, you know, with Israelite. As far as Esau Edom, he did all his wickedness on this side. If he died like and say the sinner's prayer, that nigga still gonna be in fucking slavery in the kingdom of heaven. That was vanity on his part. Because
I just want to say that's how you know it's fake, because it said there's found no place of repentance for Esau. So you can't throw up no prayer to repent. You can't do that. That's how you know it's fucking.
And Christianity has no answer for scriptures like that. They don't ever talk about that.
Trying to shut you down, like we'll talk about that later.
It's not brought up in the church. It's not brought up
Right.
in the doctrine. And if you do bring it up, you're going to have someone politely tap you on your shoulder.
It's time for him.
Right. Yeah, they're going to tap you on your shoulder. Point to the door. You got that other nigga at the door. Hold that bitch open. The ushers and shit. The ushers going to politely escort you out the church. Go ahead.
This is what we're supposed to do. This is what the Christian church doesn't do. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give warning from me. Right, that's what the Christian church doesn't do. He doesn't warn about the plagues and pestilences and prophecies fulfillment and the son, which his name is Yahushua, coming back. But that's what we're supposed to do. You claim that you're a prophet of the Lord. You claim that you're a man of the Lord, a fearful man of the Lord, but you ain't doing no work. Your works got to be shown. Obviously, faith included, but how do you show works? By how do you show your faith? By doing work.
Yeah,
Okay? Faith without works is dead. James, the 2nd chapter. I just want to bring that up.
I got this because part of the warning is, I think in the book of Romans, the things that are written before time was written for our learning. So I'm gonna bring this out in 2 Kings because I think it is in the book of James at the time that's gonna be on the earth. No, that's in the book of Matthew. It's since there was a nation, this is gonna be the worst time. Coming in Jack's trouble.
So whatever, anything that you can read in the history book, you know, the big cause, us going into slavery, what's about to come on earth, it's going to eclipse that. So I'm going to bring an account. So this is going to be worse than this account that I'm going to read. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 25. And I'm going to read down to the 27th verse. And there was a great famine. So what's coming to America, Babylon, a great famine. But guess what? This famine is going to be worse than this famine that I'm reading about in 2 Kings. So 2 Kings 6, verse 25. There was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. A score is 20. So 4 times 20 is 80. 80 pieces of silver for an ass's head. A fucking donkey's head. And the fourth part of a cab of doves dung for 5 pieces of silver. So dove shit, this is birds flying around. Bird shit for 5 pieces of silver. But guess what? Things are written for our time, written for our learning. And what's going to happen is going to be worse than that. So you got to think about it. Here in America, people eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and just eat all fucking day. Niggas, think about eating. It's a nigga riding around Broadway, got a cart selling you hot dogs and shit. So it's the famine. This famine was so great during this time frame. It's gonna be worse than that because I can call up. We at camp. I can call Uber to bring me some food right now. He gonna ping my fucking location and he'll drive by and say, "Hey, I'm on camera. Give it to my man right there." He'll bring the food to me right now. That's just how the Lord got it set up. The convenience of America, Babylon, great. So when the food gets stripped away, it's gonna be worse than it was during this time frame. And I'm gonna read the last 2 verses. Verse 26. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, "Help, my lord, O king." And this is what the king said. And he said, "If Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press?" So the Lord don't help you during that time frame. Hey, you asked out because you were born in vain. I just want to bring it down.
And as you know, it's getting really bad because where you ever heard of the lack? We're talking about very bad lack of baby formula. That's proven that we had there. You never heard ever of the lack of baby formula. That's what you're doing in this family. It's about to kick off, man. You know, that shit is funny, man. That shit's funny to me, man.
No, because I was at Kroger yesterday. Girl had a little, you know how people get like the little prepaid phone, they have a little card. I thought she was spending just minutes on the phone. It was baby phone. You know what the cashier told her? We don't have them. So she walked out with her head down.
That's yeah. Pop the titty out, goddammit.
Women don't understand, like the person just said. You supposed to be breastfeeding anyway. Because you go to a lot of women, they're actually against that. They're against breastfeeding. It hurts. Yeah.
There's a way even around that. You can't say it hurts because they got a pump.
Yeah, they got pumps.
So you can't say it hurts. You just
So here it is. This bitch done birth a baby. And for the whole time that this nigga has to drink milk,
Your body's created milk.
she's just smoking black and miles because the baby's out now. So I can get that tobacco back in myself.
Hot Cheeto diet.
Yeah, the hot Cheeto
diet.
You know, but bitch, really, even if you want to breastfeed, all right, then just get the pump. I don't think it's that much. It might be $15, $20. You know, you spending that on a dime bag. Shit. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You go to get this fake ass formula that because Esau, so-called white man says it's okay for your kids, you gonna give it to them. You don't know what the hell is in that shit. That shit could be powdered up. That shit could be ashes.
Yeah, that's why you know, hustle content all the time. You know, a whole bunch of GMO babies. That shit got GMO in it.
You wonder why these niggas are so crazy because they grew up on Pedialyte. Pediasure.
Yeah, Lucky Charms.
Yeah, Pediasure, Lucky Charms, McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, 6-piece.
The McNuggets. These are the niggas that, and this is supposed to be the future of this generation. Oh, this place is done. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro.
There's a I forget the name of the certain compound or chemical, but in a woman's breast milk, there are certain things that aids in the development of a baby's brain. That's it's not going to be in that formula.
Yeah, just like too, when you're supposed to keep the cord connected.
Yeah, the umbilical.
The placenta. Right. Yeah. You know, until
supposed to leave it on for
then on top of that, bitches are stupid because then on top of that too, the breastfeeding, it keeps your shit perked up.
Yeah, because
bitches wonder why they got the beaver tail titties. Because
you're not letting it out.
Yeah, it's not being used properly. You know, and too, brother said it helps you get rid of that stomach shit. You know, a bitch have a kid and be worried about, I need to go to the gym and lose this baby weight. Right. Breastfeed, man. It's natural. You don't see any animal in the animal kingdom
God.
getting some goddamn baby formula. They breastfeed. Imagine that. Lying with a big ass jar. This bitch in the back making bottles. No, bro. For example, right? Yeah, the bitch shaking it up with a bonnet. The lioness got a bonnet on. Right. Yeah, black and mild on her ears.
Right. Open slippers.
Right. Yeah, the slippers.
The Lord didn't want that to be like that. He wanted him to sit up like that. Right. You know, that's because before formula, what was people doing?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know, right? Yeah, but that was the thing.
Because the breastfeeding, that's honestly, it's been going on for a while, but really, that's some new shit. The formula is some new shit.
Yeah.
Some new shit.
Yeah, it's some bullshit.
Back then, because Elder Yashwama made a video on it a while back. It wasn't too. Yeah. Genesis talked about how after the Lord created the earth, it was good. So everything already recycles and already has everything it needs. There's no need for Esau's bullshit ass technology. That's just him trying to exalt himself as God.
That one post where they was interviewing that Indian chief, and he was like, "Where you think the white man went off at?" And he was just going into the things. He's like, before him, we had clean water. We spent all day hunting, came back, slept with our women. Okay, so on and so forth. He said only the white man think he
only
capable of doing better.
Only a fool thinks.
A fool thinks he can do better than that. Like the brother just quoted in that scripture, and it was good. Meaning everything was properly balanced. Go ahead.
So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, starting in verse 1, and it reads, "O power of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who have made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, and ordered the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart." So right there it says that the Lord had gave man wisdom, right? And to be over the creatures, how basically the world's supposed to be ran, how society's supposed to be ran. And that's not happening, And that's why I brought that out. In equity, let me read that back over. It said in verse 3, and ordered the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. And the word for equity, it says fairness, justice, integrity, goodness. So the baby formula shit, there's nothing righteous or good about that, and it's against, not against, but basically it hurts the children. And so originally we were supposed to be breastfeeding.
I'm pretty sure there's some studies where that shit is.
Oh, Esau will tell you that that's the best thing for the baby.
Yeah,
He'll tell you that.
He's doing that
because it literally goes from the formula to then the baby food. The little teething snacks and shit. And then just going on. It's madness, man. Yeah.
Come on, and the law with food over meat. You cook it, third, second day, you throw it out, you get rid of it. That shit just sitting there for like 30 days, 40 days, 60 days.
Months.
Yeah,
months. Not even 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
That shit's awful.
Yeah, shit shouldn't have a shelf life. Right, yeah.
Everything was fresh.
Yeah, so a shelf life.
That shit got an expiration.
I mean, now the time's coming. Canned goods gonna be a motherfucker. Best friend for Jake. You know, but you know that we just know that's not natural. But Jake ain't finna be worried about what's natural or not in that day. You know, is it right? Is it cool to eat this or not? Right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is this pork or is this chicken? That's it. Yeah, is this lawful? If it's lawful, hey, I don't care. I'm smacking bags of Doritos. Don't care. Okay. You know? Go ahead, bro.
This is Ecclesiasticus or the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners.
Yeah. Man, what did it say? Read that again, Salaki.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or known as Sirach, chapter 39, verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Yeah, these things are plain for us to understand, man. You know, the ways of life are plain for us to understand. When we get a proper understanding of how things are supposed to be going, okay, that makes sense. I see why there shouldn't be concrete in cars, you know, baby formula. But for these dumbass niggas, these wicked niggas, it's not gonna make sense. All right, go ahead.
Verse 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. And, just a quick point, just like what you brought up, concrete, man. The land Sabbath. Yeah. We understand why the land should have an opportunity to rest. We understand these things because one, Yahweh Shema Shah put a certain a spirit of higher ability to understand the earth, man. Because one, the Elohim were with Yahweh Shah in the beginning, man. So we're basically, man, we understand the things that we helped create it, man. Yeah. Esau Edom, he can't. Esau Edom thinks it's okay to pollute the air that we all have to breathe.
Esau wasn't there, let alone even in the conversation,
right,
when the earth was being created. So he will never have a proper understanding of how this earth is supposed to be ran. So this is the best that he's got. This is how he thinks it was going. You know, because he knows about the scriptures. You know, he knows how, you know, with Yahushua and the elect, you know, creating everything. This is how he thinks it was going. Okay, maybe they had conflict. Maybe they had a couple, you know, they were forming.
Yeah, strip clubs.
Right. You know, madness. But like I said, that's how you know he has no idea how to actually run the earth because he wasn't in the conversation. He was nowhere to be around. This is sick. This is simply concerning Yahushua and the elect. They are the only men that know how to operate the earth on a certain type of level, how to sustain the earth.
They got a saying in the world, like you said, Yahushua and the elect. It's A and B conversation. Esau, C-O-A.
Bring it on.
So that's the thing. He's just chill the fuck out. Like you're saying.
He's poking his nose where it doesn't belong.
Because like you're saying.
You're a gutter rat.
Yeah.
Can't withstand that. Right.
Because that precept is rough. Explaining to the holy. Explaining to us to know why you should cook food. First and foremost, the Lord said cook it. Right. That's all you need to know. The Lord said cook it through. The reason behind it. I mean, we can go into the scientific. You eat raw meat, that shit gonna fuck your stomach up.
Oh, okay.
Parasites. So the Lord knew the reason behind it. The reason why you shouldn't eat raw meat, undercooked meat. But it should be enough. The Lord said, don't eat anything with blood. Don't eat anything with blood. It should be just cut and dry.
Esau got a why.
What?
Why not?
Esau trying to tell you. Esau trying to tell you that medium rare steak is better.
Somebody he ain't got his flavor.
Yeah,
what? Talking about no flavor. You talking about vegan.
Right.
Yeah, you can halfway. 10%.
I said that ain't even true. The goddamn devil will give you an excuse for why you should break and not follow Yahweh Shema Shah's laws, and then it ain't even true.
Yeah. It'll be like, well, yeah, maybe I ought to do that because it's gonna be better.
You know, man.
You find out in the end, this bullshit.
This nigga is the cancer of the earth.
Yeah.
He's the reason why this place is out of whack. He's the reason why, what did it say?
ecosystem is messed up. He's the reason why there's wildfires. He's the reason why the air is blue, like the brother said, because he's the cancer of the earth. You know, he is death, as the scriptures say, because all these things lead to what? Death.
This is Isaiah 24 and verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Ooh. Yeah, and like it said that and they that it's like it says they have transgressed the laws and the ordinance. Who did that? The Esau, the so-called white man. And as you see it, like these trees, they don't get no they're compressed.
They compress. Yeah, and not only that, it's supposed to get nutrients and moisture from the soil, and it's got this one small little section to get the rest of this soil that's covered by this concrete is dead, man.
Yeah.
You know,
it's blocking any type of life.
And that scripture you brought up, the word language, it says failing to make progress or to be successful. Earth language.
The earth can't be at its full extent. The Most High made something that, as the brother quoted or said earlier, replenishes itself. All of our food, the water, all of it comes from the earth. And this thing is able to, it's a living machine. It's able to replenish itself as long as you take care of it.
I can't pull a scripture on it, but it's an opinion, main opinion, but oil is not even supposed to be taken out there. Because like you said, it's like an engine or it's a system, so it needs oil to run. I'm pretty sure that helps the tectonic plates, move correctly. Taking out all the oil that's causing all these earthquakes and shit. You're not supposed to take it. You shouldn't need oil for what? You can have cars run off of water.
That fossil fuel shit.
Yeah.
They take the oil out for the cars and shit. But like you said, it's already been done. That one dude made it, and then he died. He talked to them.
Yeah, right. You talking about the water pipe?
It ain't mysterious. That guy, you can look it up. I think it was water. I think somebody else did it with corn.
Engine,
I think fuel.
Okay, yeah.
But the guy that did it with water, they said he killed himself. He shot himself twice.
In the back of his head.
He shot himself twice in the back of his head.
Imagine that.
Let's get one more.
The first one didn't work. Yeah, the first
get
one.
One more.
The first bullet didn't work.
Not mistaken.
I'm out of here. Second one. Come on. Come on.
I've looked it up.
This nigga Esau is a damn demon, man. And that's what we out here to do. We out here to expose him, man. Right. Lift up his skirt.
It was the same with a guy from Minnesota that made this movie. I forgot what it was. With the FEMA camps and all that.
Yeah.
And before he could finish the movie and release it, he got clapped up in his family in his house.
You talking about Great State?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And they wrote. Esau went in there and wrote up some Islamic writing, so then they just blamed it on Muslim terrorists. They always blame it on Ishmael. Yeah. Ishmael's a wild man, so they just throw everything on him.
Esau can't get you, he'll send Ishmael. You will send Ishmael.
Yeah, that's why he needs a fucking coward, man. Because he'll point fingers at somebody else and hide behind a tree or something, saying it's their fault.
Go ahead,
yeah.
Come on, just Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Who are the saints? Israelites. All right. Yeah, but you got precepts to back it up. Yeah. But the saint, what did it say? Wear out the saints of the Most High. We tore the fuck up.
Yeah.
Through.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you fucked.
Because even
still,
fuck 2/3, but they threw. Yeah. Our people as a whole, the nation as a whole, is completely finished. It doesn't matter where you at. It doesn't matter the amount of money that you have. You're still finished. Even these rich niggas, man, they're through because you following customs that ain't even yours. That's how through you are. And then you think you winning. That's a through ass.
And you still ain't happy because the curse is still on.
Yeah. They say, they always say it in the songs. You know, here it is. These niggas be rapping about popping all these pills and lean and taking perks and shit. And your dumb ass just in the club. Yeah, this shit hard. No, nigga, this nigga's actually depressed. Like he's contemplating killing himself, and you're bumping to it.
Yeah.
Nigga down the block, you know, the 12's bumping. No, bro, this nigga's through. But that's the curses. Right. Go ahead.
Daniel 7:25.
So I can get this to solidify.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Psalms 148:14. Because on top of that, from Judah down to Issachar, name one of these tribes that wasn't chilling. They were all chilling in their own area. And Esau just came with his, like you said, football socks, his long ass socks.
Yeah, in the building. They got the football socks to the knee.
Yeah.
You know.
Boy, he got the long johns on.
The dress shoes and shit. That one white lace lock
They
on.
go. Tri-pointed hat.
Right.
Pointy there for a little bit.
Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye Yahweh.
Right, further proving that, hey, the saints, when you hear about the saints, it's speaking about the children of Israel. All right, go ahead.
Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's changing the times, the laws. Okay? He's telling you what is righteous ain't righteous, and what ain't righteous is righteous. Okay? Changing the times. Some nigga got leap years.
Right.
Every nigga from back in the day got a calendar. The Julian calendar, the fucking
Gregorian.
The Gregorian calendar. You know, who God knows what's next. If you give this nigga the time, you never know what's next.
The hour. No, I mean the minute. Trying to change a few years ago, or like a year ago, trying to change it to 59 seconds instead.
Yeah, you trying to? Yeah. I remember that.
For what?
To keep up with how fast the Earth is spinning. Yeah, it's spinning faster.
They came up with the 60-second minute. I believe that was in the Syrian or the Babylonian. I forget which one it was, but they came up with that. Even that goes back to like Babylon or something.
Hey,
somebody say what year it is.
We don't
We don't even know what day it is.
And that's why
we estimate that the Earth is no more than 12,000. It's got to be under 12,000 years. I forgot the breakdown for that, but it's under 12,000. It's very new.
and then you know, when we're going into that too, the changing the times. You know, he brings up that fuck ass the dinosaur period.
Yo, the 80 million years. Jurassic
and
all that, man.
I forgot.
The oldest civilizations, don't even go back but so far. They only like 1,000 years past Yahweh Shai's death. I think it's like 5,000 beyond that or something. They don't have anything recorded beyond that.
But they got a bone for 80 million years.
Right.
That's something called carbon something.
Carbon dating. Which is BS.
This nigga, he can put a dinosaur from the head to the toe and this nigga pelvic area all together. But when it concerns like the Mayans and shit like that, they just out of it. Let me get this real quick. Like, nigga, what are you talking about? Go ahead. Oh yeah, especially the Dark Ages.
Oh, we don't know.
That because they call it the Dark Ages because that's just a period of time we don't have no information. Right? So, on some blackout shit. Nigga.
This is Job 13:4.
Right.
But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
Positions of no value. Oh shit. Okay. Not to mention your
science.
I was just gonna pull that.
Your doctor.
Oh yes.
Your doctor doctrines is madness. Okay. But yeah, forges and lies. What he say? Comes out the womb speaking lies.
Man.
Remember that video of
the
little
little
Mike?
bitch?
Yeah,
Yep.
she stole what, cookies?
Yep.
And then mom asked her, who stole it? She said a black guy stole it.
Right.
I
Yep.
said,
Nigga
wow.
ain't come in and take a TV, a PlayStation. He came in. They come out the womb speaking lies, man.
Right.
This nigga can't help but to lie. It's in his nature. Can a leopard change his spots? You take any Edomite off the block, and that nigga gonna lie one way or another. It's in their nature.
Yep.
You got something, Ryan?
But I had this, and I'm gonna get this 1 Timothy 6:20, and then I had Proverbs 29:2.
Okay.
O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called, which is, that's all that Cretaceous spirit and all that, all the stuff, trust the science with the jump shot from the corner, all of this stuff, trust the science, right? It's science falsely so called. And this is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, and that's, how right it's out, we be those men, you're looking at some of the righteous right now. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, and you clearly see his own nation is suffering. You got homeless Edomites. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. They overdosing. They're not able to repopulate fast. Not fast, but they're not able to repopulate. That's what I mean. They're dying fast.
Got a negative birth rate.
And then, well, I mean, you always want, you're gonna have the Edomites around because they planting their seed, but even the actual look of them is deteriorating.
Yes, dimension.
Yeah. They're overpowered by everybody else's genetics.
Everybody else, realistically, nobody, shoots for that. A lot of motherfuckers, whether it's a so-called black man or a black woman, they be like, I want a mixed baby. That's the problem. That's one of the main reasons why they only go and deal with them motherfuckers. Not for the women primarily, because this nigga got power.
Right.
So they gonna go deal with Esau. They gonna deal with whoever fucks the power. Right. It could be Ishmael. Guarantee you, and then nigga land, that's some nigga bitch.
Oh yeah.
With a nigga named Muhammad.
They fly him out.
Yeah.
They fly him out, bro.
She riding elephants and shit.
And then they yup. And then when they don't, they ass, they send them right back over here.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
That shows that our people's minds are still shackled up because their idea of, not fashion, but superior looks and things like that is like you said, a mixed baby with blue eyes and blonde curly hair. If somebody from the ancient world side, like, what the fuck is this shit?
This
a Jake is a Jake. But that's not the way you don't want to look like.
Right.
Like in the kingdom, it's gonna be flipped. Everybody's gonna be trying to be as dark as you possibly can.
Yep. Dark and
especially
lovely.
Esau is now. Because
he's gonna be the only one like that.
Yeah, he's the only one. But he gonna be wanting to be dark in that day. Right. Nigga, you ain't getting out of it. Yeah. Even if you black ass Edomites, you still gonna get caught.
Yeah, I probably the king ain't gonna be no melanated Edomite. He gonna be getting the dross of his women.
Yeah.
That shit gonna be out there. He gonna get the dross of his women.
They gonna be wanting to be dark. They gonna miss the mixing.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a wrap. You got something?
Yeah.
Okay. You got something? Yeah, I got something. Okay.
But
I got two of them.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians 3:19. It says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High.
Yeah, the wisdom.
I was gonna say, the wisdom. Read again, Slack.
For the 1 Corinthians 3:19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High.
Right. So trying to build up in society and have all types of wisdom with this society. Degrees. Hey, the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. False history. All right, you're pushing that false history because the degree you have, you become a professor yourself, and you start pushing more lies like Esau in these college course classes. And the Lord ain't dead. That's foolish to the Most High. That's not wisdom, man.
Yeah, because it's like you got to take like a nigga like Charles Darwin, for example.
Yeah, Charles Darwin.
It's like where did you come up with this shit? But Yeah, right. The basement doctrine.
Before a basement,
The garage. Yeah, right. The basement garage doctrine.
They created a garage just so he can make
Right.
That's
But,
really,
you know,
really a lab.
but yeah, like, you know, like men like that, it's like, where did you come up with this shit from? But he's regarded as one of the most vital parts of history, you know, for his the Darwin theory. Yeah, the evolution shit. It's like you didn't. This isn't backed by anything.
Right, evolution right here. Tell you, right here.
Yeah,
That's all you need to know.
you know, we evolved from people, nigga. That's it.
Because our people
Close the book.
Like, the thing about our people, which somebody can grab it, the simple belief of every word.
Yeah.
Esau's pushing this vibration of this book is the falsest book on the planet.
Right.
Focus on test tubes and liquid and all that and shaking. You know, that's he wants you to believe in that. You know, that it's alive spirit. You know, I can form it into this.
That's
You know,
that's
clone.
what he is the mad scientist.
Yeah, he's the mad scientist. You know, yeah, because that's what he's trying to push, and people are trying to be like, science, science, science. And Esau, just because this thing got a drawing board and he got fractions and MX plus B. Oh yeah, he's smart.
Don't
He's
forget
smart.
the white lab coat out.
The white lab coat with the glasses and the crazy hair and the bag underneath his eyes. He's been studying for 8 hours. You know, but go ahead, somebody can grab it.
I had a quick precept to back up that Darwinism. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 39. So anyone believe in Darwinism, this is going to cut that. All flesh is not the same flesh. So there is one kind of flesh of men,
It's clearly separated. Go ahead.
another flesh of beasts,
Yep.
another of fishes, and another of birds.
Yeah, so all like you just said, all flesh is not the same. So that theory of a fish coming out the water, growing legs, and turn into a man eventually through the process of, you know, monkeys. No, it's already telling you these are all different types of flesh.
Things like fish, lizard, monkey, human.
Yeah.
Bugged out.
Yeah, no, that, man.
But go ahead.
Just real quick, why would there still be lizards, fish, monkeys?
Move the cutoff point.
Right at this
They were
point.
retarded ones.
So it's like
Where's the farming stop?
it's with that evolution theory is essentially there was a cutoff where all right, that's enough humans. Y'all niggas just stay monkeys. Imagine that. The last nigga, he was maybe
They laughing at the money.
imagine you up next to be a human. Nah, you just stay real nigga. Right. You know, he in the back. What the fuck?
We gonna have to throw that out.
Right. He mad as hell.
We gotta fight it out.
But when you believe something like that, you're counted as wise and profound, philosophical. But to believe in the chariots of the Lord, you're a conspiracy theorist.
What do we just pull? The wisdom of this world is foolish to the Most High. That's foolish. That's foolishness, man. You know.
Go ahead and finish that, Lloyd. And get your other ones too.
Okay.
And then whatever you got to say.
All right. Actually, I took it down. But the rest said that he take the wise in their own craftiness. That was the name of it.
Okay, yeah, good.
And then this one, since we're talking about it, is Titus 1, and I started 13 and read 14. It says, this witness, and I got the word for fable too.
Okay.
This Darwinism really goes into.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Titus 1 and 13. This witness is true. Wherefore, rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of man that turn from the truth. And so the word for fable is this is a short story, typically with animals as characters, conveying a moral. So basically, the whole Darwinism, you know, we came from animals and all that shit. That's like into a fable. It's a fucking lie. It's a story.
Yeah.
You know, it don't make no sense. There's no edification.
Esau tells you it's a theory.
And,
He tells you it's a theory, but then over the course of time, he just drops that word
Yes,
off.
fact.
He drops that word off.
You look up the word theory. You know, everybody should know what theory means. It ain't backed by shit. So his theory, meaning this nigga thinks.
He thought it up.
Yeah, it's something he came up with in the basement.
Right.
Okay. You know, the flickering light bulb in the back, Mountain Dews, White
Oh
Ice,
man,
you know, Doritos,
Starbucks coffee.
right.
Now later.
Yeah, right. Yeah, candy and shit, Starburst. It's some random ass shit that somebody came up with.
stuff will take you away from the truth if you're not well grounded.
Yeah.
You know, you believe in it.
Because even that fucking that flat earth shit, that's something that that if you're not careful, bro, that shit can get you.
Yeah.
Because you listen to the right nigga, that makes sense. Nah, you gotta stray away from that, man.
Yeah, this whole breakdown is like, I'm talking about breakdown.
Because and really, and that's when you know that's when you feel like, or not feel like, but that's when you really have to grow in the truth, because you understand at times like that certain things just don't really matter.
Exactly. What does that got to do with salvation?
Yeah. This shit could be a triangle, an octagon, the shape of a stop sign. It ain't got nothing to do with us getting beamed up on a chariot. Leave it alone. And that goes into Jake always trying to be deep, always trying to come up with this new revelation. Jake want to be the guy to come up. I just found this out. Oh,
you're deep, huh?
Right. Yeah, you get the appraisal of men. These things have already been done. The apostles and the elders and their teachers, they've already been given the revelations of certain breakdowns and this and that. Let them have that glory, so to speak. Your ass need to focus on getting on a chariot. You know, but try, you know, like that flat earth shit, man, it's dangerous. You know, that's one of the first things you gotta check. It's
like you, that first precept brought out, eating the road. That's what we should. The road wasn't talking about flat earth. That wasn't the road we ate. No, none of us ate that road. Man. That's some other road that we picked up. So if you learn on the Apostle El's A Great Meal song, that wasn't part of the road when you clicking on videos. You picked that up from somewhere else. Popeyes.
Yeah, the spirit is like Popeye bitch choking on his shit.
Go ahead, bro.
This is for the Jewish fables. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1 says, surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world, man. Going into that idol worship, because all those fables is just idol worship. What they do is they personify things that we can see in nature, man. Like I mentioned before, in that bullshit, comedic bullshit, they explain the sun rising, which the sun don't even move. It stays in the same spot. They explain the sun rising by the sun god Ra battles with the god of the darkness, Set, and they battle each and every day, every fucking day, and that's how the sun rises. But the scriptures just told us, man, you supposed to look at the sun and see the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Even Esau Edom's bullshit world shows us the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1 and 2.
That was in that, bro?
Come.
Yeah, I want to bring out this. Something I came across a little bit ago. Was dealing with the theory of evolution, which also that's a red flag right there. It's still regarded as a theory, not a fact. If it was a fact, nobody would be able to dispute that. People dispute this, but the Bible tells us that they're gonna do that and they're gonna die in their faithfulness.
And this is back. It connects with linear history. Yeah, that's right word. Not linear. Secular
history, geography.
Yeah.
The way life, starts and all.
It has
science.
Yeah.
Biology, chemistry.
It has. It's linked to it all. You know, one easy example. Alexander the Greek. All right, the Greek. He's mentioned in the scriptures.
He died the same way too.
Exactly.
And his generals.
You look it up. You know, all the captivities. The the certain kingdoms that were set up and appointed. All right, it's all in the scriptures, man.
And then, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say we was talking about that during our Thursday night class. I pointed out. I was like, read all these history books about Alexander the Great, but he's mentioned in the scriptures. You're gonna read here And then, you know, they're going to fuck around with it, but you'll hear something about the generals, and I'm like, well, that's talked about in the scriptures too. So how is the Bible fake, or a children's book, or a fairy tale? It's like, nigga, just say you don't believe. Is that you're trying to debunk something? Just say you don't care.
The only thing that a nigga could say at that point is somebody wrote it recently and wrote all the history back then, but that still wouldn't explain how, you know, the dark sayings and the parables, not to mention the fact that it's telling us stuff that hasn't happened yet and we're starting to see happen. That right there, because like brothers always say, this is the only book that has prophecy in it.
Yeah.
And what people fail to understand is everything you read that you look back, like we're talking about Alexander and his 4 generals, that at the time was all prophecy. That didn't happen then.
Right. So when they was writing it,
It happened.
like when Daniel was having all those visions.
You didn't know who the hell Alexander the Great was.
And what was he in? Where was he in at the time?
I think he was in the
He's in Babylon.
the Babylonian captivity.
You know. So because at the time, here it is. He's describing the statue. He had the damn head.
Yeah, that did.
So it's like,
Yeah, because the Greeks after he came up.
Yeah.
Babylon, and then Medio Persia, then
Right.
the Greeks.
Then the
and
the
Romans.
Greeks in their own. So it's like he's describing things like the brother said back then. That was prophecy, and so it's the exact same thing now. You know, starting with when the apostles and the elders, you know, came on the scene. Really starting with Abba Bivens, speaking of things. You know, speaking about the multitude and Jake waking up. You know, it was Abba Bivens. I mean, there was men back then, but it ain't like now. Camp set up everywhere. You know, now everybody has a somewhat understanding of who the Israelites are. You know, niggas be writing about, hey, those are Israelites. They know it. Just a lot of garments, you know, which they stupid ass really should be stopping, but nonetheless, they know.
Yeah.
You know, this is a time like no other.
Just like you say, everybody. I was in a restaurant last night. I seen the shirt, but then I realized, you know, he is like, because he had a shirt, feet with brass. But it's so subtle if you just see it,
Yeah,
you know. But when you see it and then you think about it, you talking about
especially a Jake at Walmart picking tomatoes with a shirt with fringes on, man. You know, he threw, but
he know.
he know, and he got a chance still.
The seats. You got guys out there that got names for their tribes on their car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Levi.
That one nigga had he had a Judah license plate.
Yeah.
Drove by, he bald as hell. Fuck it. But I mean, hey, you know.
But he's out there, like you said, the word is out
Right,
there.
yeah.
Lord, what you got? You can go ahead and bring that out, and then I'll get this.
This is John 5:39, search the scriptures. All right, this is John 5:39. It says, search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. So, hey, that's plain. You know, when you come into this truth, you got to search the scriptures out to validate what's true, what's fake. Like what they was going into for eating a roll in the book of Ezekiel.
Yeah.
You got to eat the true understanding, basically. You know, the true wisdom of the scriptures. You know, and so that's what we do. We search the scriptures daily. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. That's how we have what we have, because He gave unto us that understanding.
And a big part of this too is scripture says study to show thyself approved.
Yeah.
As the apostles even tell you, don't believe everything that they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just go do the research for yourself.
And
you know,
like,
because even then when you watch, you know, you could be watching a video, brother may say something, you know, but then, you know, not like you don't believe him, but you go look it up. And you might go look up something else. You find out something else. That's when you bring something to the, hey, oh, by the way, I was studying on this. I seen, you know, I found out this, you know. But, you know, Jake trying to come up with the revelation of, oh, I found a different breakdown about this. No. That's not how this works. You know, you're not going to come up with a new breakdown. Because that means, here it is, you got, I mean, we're going to call it like it is. You got the leader of Israel, Apostle on the earth still. And it skipped him. And it went down to yo funky ass. No. Come on, bro. You gotta be realistic with it.
Scripture say, Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, prove all things. So when you're studying, and people come up and buck up against it, you have the evidence, the proof, and the facts to back up your argument. Okay, so that's the whole point of study. Okay.
And I want to add that the last part it says that, and they are they which testify of me. So the scriptures testify of Yahweh Shai, and us, Lord will, we the men, we testify. We have the testimony, dealing with the prophecies, like they were pointing to the history. All that history is in the scriptures. Search the scriptures, to get that history. No other book has that. Prophecy history.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you gotta be able to connect the scripture to something.
That's why the scripture says this is the book of life, not the book of fairy tale, book of life.
And he said that he think he has eternal life, because of,
Like this book talks about things that happened in the past and things that are happening in the upcoming future. And now, present, past, present, future. All right. This really, Job 13:4 we brought out right here, but this is based off of, like I said, Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. This is somebody named Charles Dawson. It's not the same person. But basically, might as well be. It says it's called the Piltdown Man. This is one of my favorite things to go to for evolution. It says the Piltdown. I'm just going to read a couple parts. The Piltdown Man was a paleoanthropologist. God damn, that's a long English word. Paleoanthropological fraud, in which bone fragments were presented as the fossilized remains of a previously unknown early human. So it's forging, man. They put together bullshit. It says in 1912, Charles Dawson claimed that he had discovered the missing link between ape and man. So basically, it goes into remains he found near Piltdown, East Sussex. We'll go down here. It says Smith Woodward reconstructed the skull fragments and hypothesized, meaning he made a dumbass guess, that they belonged to a human ancestor from 500,000 years ago. I'm going to skip down a little bit. The questionable significance of the assemblage remained the subject of considerable controversy until it was conclusively exposed in 1953 as a forgery. So it took like 40 fucking years for them to realize this really was horseshit the whole fucking time.
And how would you know that something from 500,000 years?
So
They was there.
Right, it's like,
just pick a number, make it so big you can't even fucking research it.
yeah, you can't fact check that. And that's fucking so, man.
I gotta finish it.
Go ahead.
More left for it. Quick. It says it was found to have consisted, and this shows how fucked up Esau is too. It was found to have consisted of the altered mandible and some teeth of an orangutan, deliberately combined with the cranium of a fully developed, though small-brained modern humans. This man digged up somebody's body and put it together with a dead orangutan body and said, "This is the missing link." You're a sick fuck.
And he puts them, like the brother said, them big ass numbers. Nobody can go back and fact check it. Even though he himself can't go back and fact check it. It's like, who you gonna check him? That nigga, if that nigga go on the news tomorrow, like we found such and such from 20 million years ago. Like, one nigga might be like, how do you know that? You wrong. Right. Prove it. Nigga, you prove it.
I got the definition of hypothesis. It says a supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence. He barely got any.
At best.
Right. Yeah,
as a starting point for further investigation, similar to theory and theorem thesis.
It said the starting
speculation.
Speculation.
The starting point for further investigation. That nigga just throws a hypothesis out and then that's it. Ain't no more investigation on that. I mean, there's nothing to investigate, but this nigga just going around the earth throwing around theories, man.
That's what Esau's always done. Because even back then, the Edomite woman who claimed she got raped, they ain't got no evidence, or they just heard her testimony, which was a lie, and they went and found
They went. Well, that happened. I think Rosewood too.
Yeah.
That whole little town Jake had got fucking destroyed because of that. It happened many times. I think it happened with Black Wall Street too. Somebody was accused of doing something like that. Because even in that movie White Boy Rick, when they were which they were niggas, doing fucking dumbass shit. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it's all easy. But they were in there, and that guy had a meeting. He's like, like a crime happened, and it's like they just want a nigga. They don't care which nigga it is. Somebody's going down with this shit. They just want a nigga. Yeah. So Esau always does that. He just, like I said, 4-3 lies. He's gonna get a little evidence or no evidence, and he's just gonna speak out of his ass, man. And everybody buys it.
And since the power of the earth is in his hand, nobody can question him. Nobody can supersede his judgment.
But that's like the Rob said. That's when that label is thrown on them conspiracy theorists, and that's immediately when they think you got an aluminum foil hat. You just some bug out.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories.
They apply the basement doctrine on you.
Basically, it's basically conspiracy theory is basically the nice way of saying you're crazy. Yeah. See, you've been niggas mock you.
Well,
you've been reading the Bible too much. You've been doing research too much. You need to go get some pussy or something. Like, they'll say shit like that.
And here it is. This supposed land of the free, where you had the freedom of religion, the freedom of doing whatever the fuck you want. So this is something that I believe. How am I labeled as a conspiracy theorist? That doesn't make any sense. That's contrary to what the fuck you're saying. Y'all niggas is conspiracy theory because you believe that you're gonna do all this madness on the earth and not get judged. The biggest damn theory you got in your mindset right now. Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 14:8. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit.
Yeah, the folly of fools is deceit. All right. Read that again.
Proverbs 14:8. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit.
And go to verse 15.
Proverbs 14:15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going.
He's got to be right, the so-called white man, because he's got that long white trench coat. He's got that doctor's degree. Oh, he's been working in this doctor for 20 years. He's family friendly. He's clean shaved. Yeah, he's clean shaved. No beard, no bumps, no nothing. Yeah, he's professional. He knows what he's doing.
Professional coordinator.
He's so cool.
But I'm saying, like that, and that people don't. These questions never pop up in a nigga brain. Good according to who, professional according to who. What standards are you judging this man by? You judging him by his standards? It's easy to make yourself look good in your kingdom. Like that goes without saying. This nigga pins all his madness on everybody.
They had I think it was like Blackbird or Black Box, one of those on Netflix, where you had this dude who worked at this software place, Edomite, and he had captured some of his co-workers, and he had connected them up into the computer system. And whenever he came into the computer system, everything was set up where he was basically God. He could do no wrong, and they had to go along with it in this computer system, or he would jack their asses up, man. And so just like going along with what you're saying, man, that's Esau Edom in this society. He set everything up where all the standards are in his favor. All the laws are in his favor. Everything's in his favor.
It's set up to work for him and him only, right? So, simply put, if you're not him, it ain't gonna work, right?
He got and on top of that, he's ruling. He's the head honcho of this society. So people want to listen to the head nigga, right? Oh, I get that.
Isaiah 5:20-21. Yeah. Isaiah 5:20-21. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Right, because Esau labels us, as we're conspiracy theorists as something bad. But no, listen to Esau. He's got formula, and he's got science, and he's got polluted air. But he's the guy. He's a smart guy. But what we're doing is labeled as bad.
We're going to be terrorized for simply doing nothing. This nigga is going around the planet wrecking havoc. You know, and they love to push the conversation about, well, humans need to stop doing this and humans need to stop doing that. Number one, that doesn't even apply to you. You don't have any hue in you. All right. Then not to mention, we don't own oil rigs. We don't own, you know, and shit, anything, really. So all the things that are destroying the earth is because of you. You have them big ass boats where you can go dump off 80,000 kilos of oil into the ocean. You know, oil spills and all the other shit.
Yeah, these people home right here.
Yeah, the wind keep blowing there. Yeah, he's trying to go with the wind. Nah, nigga, get stuck.
Because people like to say, why is this earth in the condition that it is? It's because of these niggas.
Not humans, bro.
These crackers are the reason why the earth is basically upside down. The Cajuns of call.
The Malcolm called the Cajuns of call.
And the problem with you niggas, that we got a problem with you niggas, because y'all don't see that this is the culprit. This is the criminal. This is the real gangster. But y'all niggas don't see it. You're not getting on these niggas, but you got niggas in our comment section, the apostles comment sections, elders talking about y'all are crazy. These niggas are literally the crazy ones, man. They're killing your own. They're killing you off, man.
You have to be a complete lunatic to put chemtrails in the air that you have.
Right.
You're retarded. To push out GMO food to your own nation of people, you're retarded. Even as much as we despise 2/3, we're not out here deliberately doing anything but fuck these niggas. Yeah, at the most, at best. Now, yes, they get judged. Hey, call all y'all about my shot. You know, good riddance for me. But we're not out here doing the same thing that Esau's doing, man, and we will never be doing that. Even in this state, we see Jake fucked up. We know his judges. We still slide him a couple dollars. Why? Because it's your people at the end of the day. Jake got a soul. He have a heart. This nigga, God, this nigga.
Yeah, you're not allowed to basically be homeless. You're gonna get charged now for being homeless. It's like $50.
They put in like the benches. They put a bar in the middle. So it's really now it's like a, you know, originally you can see, you can sit two people on there, but now that bar's there, so yeah, it still sees two people, but you can't lay down. You know.
Selfish ass nigga.
Yeah, you know.
Sirach 14:5, dealing with Esau. Really shouldn't even have to say it. You're going to see that for yourself. He that is, Sirach 14:5, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
Right. You can't be good to anybody if you're evil to yourself. Yeah. You messing yourself up, get out of here. Go ahead.
It says, he shall not take pleasure in his goods.
Right, so this man is about to vomit up on him. Yeah, he's wicked to his own people. He's not going to be right, and that's where, as the brother stated, the dumbassness of our people come in. The simple believing every word, because you believe that even though this nigga is evil to his own self, that he's going to somehow choose out the bottom of his heart, his wretched black heart, to love you. We're going to get y'all jabbed up first so we can make sure that you're first. And we want you to know you matter. Really, nigga? When have you ever been first in the so-called white man's kingdom? You've been first fired, first killed.
Last hire,
yeah.
First fire. Okay.
That's the only time a nigga's last. Last hire. That's the only time your ass is last. You first on the bills, you first when you got them. The killings, okay? Yeah, prison sentences. Your court cases probably go up before all the Edomite cases. All that shit, man. Go ahead.
That's back here. Proverbs 26 and verse 25. Like you say, when Esau speaking fair to you, put you head in line. Watch that, devil. Proverbs 26, verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. That, you know, I gotta read it again.
Yeah, I said read it again.
Proverbs 26, verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. What? For there are 7 abominations in his heart.
Somebody get Psalms 55.
I got it.
Go. Slide.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Psalms, the 55th Psalm, and you can get straight to the point at 21.
Then you start 20, right?
All right, Con.
Somebody get Sirach.
20?
10. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Psalms, the 20th Psalm, verse 20. He hath put forth, referring to Esau, Edom, the wicked. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
Yeah, and that you know, the peace doctrine that Jake be trying to push. You know, you got some random ass black nigga getting interviewed. You know, even we asked Jake, a random Jake walked by, and we asked, hey, bro, real quick, do you believe that the so-called white man should be punished for the actions that he's done to the so-called black and American Latinos? I ain't for all that, man.
I think,
I think we should just forgive him and forget. Yeah. Nigga, what? Get your weak ass up the street then. You gonna be caught with this. Yeah, we just damn brought it up.
And that's the problem of people. They're trying to push that no justice, no peace, that peace to the Middle East. And all that's gone, man. Because the scripture say in Ecclesiastes, a time of war and a time of peace. That time of peace is gone. Jake don't understand that shit. The mark of the land is gone. Jake don't understand that shit.
There was never a time of peace under the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
That nigga's the warmonger. That's all it is. Fight.
21st verse, 55th Psalm. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Yeah, war was in his heart. Go ahead. Is that on it?
A little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Yeah, so he comes around with this, you know, what's that in Revelation, I think? He had two horns and spake as a lamb. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, comes with that soft-spoken doctrine. He's going to help. He's going to make sure you get the best of the best help, the best of the best care. Really, he don't give a damn. And at the end, he's going to declare his wickedness.
Right.
You know, yeah, that's a scripture too. You know, go ahead, Aaron.
This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Now, clearly that's talking about Esau. His soul is not upright in him.
Right.
Okay, he ain't just. So they ain't a continuation of the law.
That's that balance that Yahweh Shema has. The wicked versus the righteous.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, the scriptures describe this man as death. Would you really want to reside in the same household with somebody whose nickname is death? That doesn't make any sense. That's not a logical thought process to have. Yeah. You know, like that nigga Lil Reese, they call him the Grim Reaper. I'm not hanging with this nigga. Why would I hang with this nigga unless I'm on his good side? That's clearly.
They call that one nigga demon.
Yeah.
He died.
You know.
T-Vine?
No.
You meet a black nigga on the street. What's up, man? My name is
Fredo Santos.
But they call me Killer Demon. Yeah, they call me Black Death. No, Black Death. I ain't fucking with you, D-Lo. I ain't fucking with you, bro. I can't mess with you, bro. You got a lot of shit going on. You got some shit going on. I don't want no parts of it. Go ahead.
I got a account of history from
To connect with that Psalms 55 and 20, when he put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Yeah.
All the Native Americans over here were at peace, for the most part, especially on the islands. Yeah. This right here is dealing with the Tainos of modern day Haiti and the Dominican Republic, so tribe of Simeon, the indigenous over there. It says this is late 16th century, so 1500s. Depiction of that's the picture. But it says Columbus' description on the Tainos. He said, they traded with us and gave us everything they had with goodwill. They took great delight in pleasing us. They are very gentle and without knowledge of what is evil, nor do they murder or steal. Your Highness may believe that in all the world they can be no better people. They love their neighbors as themselves, and they have the sweetest talk in the world and are gentle and always laughing.
He had to go, you know the rest of it. And he took advantage of Jake giving him gifts and caring about him, being a good neighbor, onto a foreigner that came to their land, and he fucking raped, robbed, and murdered him. Cut their hands off, fed them to dogs.
Because that's Jake's natural, because even back then, that's how you treat your brother. You might have a visitor, and it's the same now. Hospitality. Brothers may come in town, hey, you house the brother, make sure he's fed, he drink, give us a drink, whatever he wants or whatever he needs, you make sure he's good for the time that he's here. The time that he's around in your presence, you make sure that he has everything he needs.
Back then, now our people are degenerates. They've separated from the ancestral qualities. We weren't seeking conflict. A lot of times when we engaged in war, it was to defend our land or to take what was rightfully ours. It was always a justified war. That's the only time Jake would really be a warrior, is when we had to be. That's why Jake was fucking chilling. Starting a family, fucking agriculture. Jake wasn't thinking about going to the nation over and just fucking slaughtering people.
Well, no, and it's the same, about 40, 50 years ago, the neighborhoods, everybody knew their neighbor and shit, and shit was, especially Jake. I'm speaking about Jake. Fuck Esau, Jake. You could go over next door, hey, man, you get a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
That's when that shit actually meant something.
Yeah.
You go over next door now to ask this nigga any question. Yeah. What you need, nigga? Damn.
Some niggas,
Nothing now.
some niggas, it's mostly Esau, but some niggas be having, some Jake be having them signs talking about "Be careful, I'm armed" on their doorpost. That's how bad.
No
it is.
trespassing.
Yeah, no trespassing. The fine.
It sounds like you better get right with Jesus.
Right.
You're good.
Right.
Hey, he not gonna say anything.
Right. You better hope the Lord with you.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Sirach 12, starting in verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it to.
Yeah, and that's shit. I mean, honestly, that was off law. We didn't expect this nigga to come over and just be a demon. Our traditions is what we used to. Hey, if somebody comes to your land, okay, hey, what's up? So we gonna show you how to work these bitches. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get you right. And then in return, you don't kill us. Right. But in return, this nigga just thanks. Knife, right? Not in the back. No, that nigga, he's looking at you.
Yeah,
He's
right.
shaking your
Throat or
shit.
something.
Thank you, brother. That's the same mindset that niggas had since the beginning, man. The
That's
days of mourning, right here.
John 8:44.
Genesis 3. Yep. Thou shalt not surely die.
Right.
John 10:10.
Days of mourning for my father at hand. Then I slayed my brother chick. That nigga had no
I
remorse.
think it was El Quran, but that moment where Esau came to Jacob and Jacob hugged him and gave him a kiss on the cheek and all that. Because Esau had all his things, but he just ran straight to Jacob.
Listen.
He said, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. If not from him, yet from the Most High. There can no good come to him that always occupied evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
Right, so that's why we give to the godly men. That's why brothers gotta be mindful too about, just dishing out your money to these homeless niggas. At the end of the day, yes, it's judgment. Sometimes you can do it. You gotta know through the spirit.
Yeah, just the spirit. Yeah.
The spirit might hop on you. All right, get a couple $.
Right.
We damn sure ain't cashing out on nothing. If anything, at best, really just offer food. Because you don't know what this nigga gonna do with $5. I don't know how much crack runs for, but maybe and a nigga get 4 people a day to get them $5.
And they do for
20
ISPUK. He would know.
Oh, you got
that?
behind you?
He would know.
Go to New York. You get the best crack.
He would know.
The cities,
He know everything.
He had the location.
You gotta ask him for that.
You know it. We don't know it.
I don't know nothing
See
about no
that
crack.
video.
Yeah. Direct you to that video.
There's
You
your,
wanna know
there's,
that?
there's your source. There's your help.
Right. But yeah, you gotta know that's madness, man. That's madness. We ain't even gonna get into that. Go ahead. No, you do.
Okay. This is this is Sirach 12 and 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yeah.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed of him. Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away."
If you know anything about rust, once the car get rust, I don't care what you do to it, it's still there. That same motherfucker that came on the Mayflower, came on the, they brought up people on the good ship Jesus. That's him. Now he's polished himself up today. You know, he got on a two-piece suit. You know what I'm saying? He got on some smell good cologne, but the rest is still there. When the scriptures say earlier, come out the womb, speak a lie, that is still bad in his moral fibers. That's in his genetic DNA maker. The Lord made him that way. So I don't care what he do. He can pull up in a Maserati and give you a little money. He got 7 more abomination that's in his heart. So the rest is still there. But see, like you said, Jake, they can't see it. All they see is, you know, Jim Crow Joe passing out stimulus check. Nigga also passed out crack pipes.
Yeah.
I mean, and they gonna start to see it soon.
Believe verse 16. Believe.
They gonna start to see it soon.
Okay. Verse 16, "An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to He imagined how to throw thee into a pit."
That's his moral mindset. That's whole mind. That's at the back of his head. Really, the forefront. Really, the forefront.
Yeah.
You know, if he doing good, he doing unwilling. At the last, he declares wickedness.
These devils wake up every day.
Like
how to destroy the Israelites. How can I destroy the Israelites? How can I fuck up the prophets? You know, Esau's doing that every day, man.
Yep. Go ahead, bro.
This is Micah 2 and 1.
Yep, that's real.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
First breath of the day, this nigga is on it. He's on it. And it's not going to stop until the kingdom is established, you know? And this is what it say, because it's in the power of his hand.
Yep.
He has the power to fuck the earth up as much as he wants, as much as appointed, I'll say. Because there's a certain amount of things that the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai, is allowing this man to do. You know, that's why he's not able to run up on us now. You know, Esau really wants to pull all these damn Nashville Police Department niggas, you know, do a damn, you know, a half donut, a skirt out. Hey, pull up, freeze, niggas, get on the ground. You know, he want to do that shit. He want to do that to all the men of the Lord, all around, because you know who we are. But it's not appointed right now. Most High ain't allowed it.
It's the spirit partly because when we first started teaching here in this area, I allowed the park where we're at right here. But the spirit had to where we're the only ones that get that pass to teach.
Yeah, we just can't do 2 cars.
Yeah, we just can't do 2 cars.
Whoever got the signs is park here.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is
but yeah, I know.
Esau's going to really do what he want to do with us, but spirit doesn't allow it.
When the ways man pleasing to the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, making even his enemies be peaceful.
Yeah.
Verse 2, "And they covet fields and take them by violence."
Take them by violence. Using that sword, he was blessed. You know, go ahead.
"And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage."
He's the only man doing that shit, man. That's how you know this is Esau, you know, the so-called white man. Esau's the Arab doctrine is through. I ain't heard that shit in years. You know, they went away just like the 2019 is went away.
I really didn't last long.
Oh, hell,
it was like a few months.
Once it hit March, things is out of here. January 2nd, you know, they thought 2019 was it. I mean, we all hoped it was. Shit. Y'all was on that 400-year shit. Them 400-year niggas, yeah, they was out of here, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, chilling. You know, we not, like your brother mentioned, man, we don't turn into warrior mode unless we have to. Outside of that, there's no point. You know, we relax, we chilling. As long as you ain't fucking with us, we leave. And that's actually a thing that Jake actually even had in the world, man. You know, even when you was in the world, you know, I know I'm speaking for myself, but as long as ain't nobody fucking with me, I'm good. I don't care. You know, y'all niggas.
All the serpents harmless.
Yeah, you know. But, yeah, that's it. When we say Esau was a man of the field, a hunter. Yeah. Look at go on Discovery Channel. You know all them damn shows and shit.
Blasting all the
This
animals.
nigga willingly goes to the wilderness for 3 months.
Bro, what? Yo, man,
Yeah,
get the paint
right.
in. Yo,
You know,
put the blood of the deer all on him.
And the piss. And the piss.
Yeah,
Deer
bro.
piss, too.
This nigga got one bag with like 3 tools, and then he just go out there.
God.
He's winning. He's winning for like a month. Like recording and the shit.
You see a vlog day 1 and
Right.
day
Meanwhile,
20.
my ass at the house watching this shit. Right. I ain't taking my black ass out there. I'm not doing that shit, man.
That's
You know?
Esau, because he's a brute beast.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
Jake Hunt. You know.
Yeah, but he's literally an animal.
Yeah.
That's how he can adapt. Now, we have to deal with certain things as being out in the wilderness and dealing with other beasts. We're just doing that just to survive. But Esau doing that because he gets a grow out of that shit.
Hunting's a sport for him. You know?
This nigga grew tails.
Because he's not even hunting to like you said to survive. It's
Hunting for the
it's
thrill of it.
He'll kill like 8 deer, 8 bucks, and then mount the head. You know, when you walk in the Edomite house, that nigga got a mounted deer,
My
a
first
bear,
kill.
a goddamn buffalo,
The bear
Fish.
carpet. It's
Fish
like
too.
fish,
You get a carpet and
a bear
mat.
rug.
Yeah, you know, the bear rug, nigga.
Yeah, I shot that back in '82.
And they even had so-called fiction, fiction novels and so-called fiction novels and movies of them hunting people because they get they're not entertained with animals no more, so they hunt people.
Sure, that nigga Esau's a sick fuck. He's a sick, crazy
Yeah.
nigga. And then we tell people this stuff, they look at us crazy. It's like, bro, there's footage of this nigga doing this shit.
Yeah.
Footage. That's even we don't even need footage.
Yeah.
But to back it up even more, it's showing it on the internet.
You go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and type in catch and clean. Just type in catch, clean, and cook. Usually, it should be fishing videos. This nigga got a catch, clean, and cook of a cougar, an alligator, raccoons, you know, just random shit. Shit that you think when nobody would eat. This nigga's doing.
He can tell you about the arteries.
Yeah.
He can tell you about, what this is and every single animal down there. He can teach you.
He's a wild
all
beast.
that shit. Yeah.
He's a caveman. He's Tarzan.
Yep.
Same thing with the how he has such a understanding of the human body, because he's dissected niggas from ages ago, man.
Yeah.
You know.
He's-
Yeah. He's doing all these things. He's doing all these like the madman doctrine. You know, with the lab coat, he's doing these things, and it's in the power for him to do it.
He is Dr. Frankenstein.
And once again, the scriptures reference him as death.
He's the scriptures say the modern day blacksmith. Right? Which is really bad scientist nowadays.
Oh, go ahead. You got something?
I got something.
Go ahead.
Go ahead now.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee.
Yeah, we didn't deal with Esau the way he dealt with us. You know, ain't one time Jake went on a goddamn, just a complete rampage on Esau either, for no reason on top of it. You know, not through, like the example with where King Saul was told to go wipe out Edom.
Right.
Nothing like that. Not something through the nose. Just he woke up one day and just like, fuck Esau. Just ransacked his shit. What happened? You know, will happen in the kingdom. Oh, shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Continuing on in Isaiah 33:1. Yep. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Yeah, man. That's it right there, man. That's what Esau, Edom has to look forward to. That's why it say that the nations for Babylon have been a golden cup in the hand of Yahweh Shemel Shah, with which he's made all the nations, of the earth drunk, man. The nations are mad. They mad in two ways. One, they craze from your wine, and then now that they kind of starting to wake up from it, they starting to realize, that you ain't who you said you was. Now they pissed. Now they're angry and they want your blood. Right. And nobody's gonna be spilling the blood of Esau, Edom more than the nation of Israel and the kingdom, man.
Yeah, the nations are finding out that you've been giving them Kentucky gentlemen in a Douce bottle. Okay. What your brothers don't know, Kentucky gentlemen is a trash ass whiskey. Shit's like $7 for a fifth. That shit tastes like rubbing alcohol.
$2 for a pint.
That's what Esau's been doing to the nation. Man, right. 50-cent shots. Find out that he's, like I said, in a Douce bottle, he got Kentucky gentleman. Nations getting sober, like, wait a minute, nigga. This shit is good. Yeah. And then they taste some real Douce. Like, oh, hell, I just think it's been jinking us. McManus is being exposed.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth my wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
This monkey nigga don't know how to sit his ass down, man. He's going to different countries, taking their resources, fucking them up. You saw old pictures of how Libya used to look, and then now look how it is now. This nigga Esau is just, basically bleeding everybody dry, man. And he's doing all that, still doing it, and it's still not enough.
Syria.
Syria? Yeah. He's fucking his whole. Go ahead, son.
Y'all always put y'all planting his seed too.
Yeah.
He's spreading his seed. They got brown Edomites going around these other countries too. They come to power and they're being puppets for these different fucking countries.
Right.
It's set up like that.
Saudi Arabia rules and
Yeah,
I was thinking about it.
A lot of them motherfuckers at the summits, a lot of them, they Edomites, man. They straight up.
They look like the heathen nations, but they actually,
Yeah, because the summit is supposed to be not conglomerate. Basically,
you got a meeting. Meeting.
First off, where the hell is Jake?
Psalms 83.
Yeah, so it's like, all rip. That's how the judgment ain't gonna be balanced. It's not gonna be judgment at all. It's actually gonna be unrighteous judgment.
I don't want to switch the subject too, but I believe that Esau had went into an Ishmaelite woman. So, that's proof right there that you're gonna have a lot of these Ishmaelites that straight up Edomites. Their lineage. I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, rape, rob, and murder. That's what he done. He did it to America. He gonna definitely do it to them small little countries, especially when they ain't got they ain't got civil rights over these other countries. You got a Indian ass MLK. Some nigga marching and shit, doing speeches. No, they don't have shit like that.
They got that real on there. Steal and fucking cut your damn hand off. But stop your ass from stealing. That shit real.
And the women are in order.
Yeah,
some type of order, still morals.
Yeah, they still have morals.
They got signs up that says no PDA, no public display of affection. Yeah. And like going to the mall and like to buy big ass sign. Don't be holding fucking hand.
Yeah, they walk out in front with the women walking behind them, like 20 paces or something.
Yeah.
They way back there.
They sit in the back seat.
Yeah. That's for America.
Three, four women walking behind one man.
Yeah.
They're not complaining saying that they're oppressed either, like how these dumbass free women over here say.
So oppressed doing what?
Now we'll say this. Now in the Muslim countries, they'll have like regular food, beef, pork, chicken, well, the beef, chicken, all the pork is in a separate fucking cooler with its own ventilation. You don't even breathe that shit over there.
Yeah,
Like,
here, here it's next to each other or it's mixed.
Yeah,
Guys,
guys,
else where it's
man.
mixed.
Hey,
It
you
used
know-
to contain beef and pork. Nigga,
You go to a restaurant. Let me get a hamburger. All right, hold on. Let me move this bacon.
Right. Let me sizzle this up for you real good in this pork
Right,
fat.
bacon. Goddamn.
Yeah, man, so they marinate it in like pork fat. Lard. You're not even eating.
Yeah.
You're not even lard. You're not even ordering it, but it's just cooked and marinated in it. Seasoned
It's
in
madness, man. Because you supposed to, and this is in the law, but you supposed to break, if you put some pork in there, you
Break
break
that
whole
down.
thing down.
Yeah, break that
You gotta
down.
break that bitch down, man.
That's how serious it is. But you got people in America, that get offended. You know what I'm talking about? Offended that you're not eating that abomination. You know? Because there was one time, real quick story, me and a brother, we stopped at a gas station to grab,
That
something
bitch.
to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at the food section. Like, they had a little sandwich section. I'm looking at it. Everything saying barbecue pork rib, and I got to the bottom, and it was the sandwiches. But before I got beef burgers, but I'm sitting there like, you call asked me from across the store. It was like, hey, what they got over there? I was like, man, ain't shit but fucking pork. and the woman, probably a Jake woman, but she's like a so-called white woman. It doesn't matter. But she got offended. What the fuck is wrong with pork?
Why she get it?
I'm like,
That's a spirit.
right. Yeah, I'm like,
You offended.
why the hell you care what's going on in my body? But niggas find it weird that you're not eating a bacon.
There's so many options. I could have been allergic to pork. I could have been.
That's what I told her. I said,
I could be on the healthy, cleans up my body. But you get offended. Why eat it? What the fuck it matter to you? But then it really is. It's like it's an acceptance issue as much. If you go around saying you're Muslim, hey, why don't you eat pork? I'm Muslim. Oh man, that's what I'm like. He don't even know what that means. But he's gonna dab you up on it. But why don't you eat pork? I mean, he's Israel.
or you say you don't fuck them out. Nah, I said, what? Oh, Boozy Badass. I'm not gonna say what he said, but basically put the finger up to the Most High and he said, well, I'm gonna do what I want. The baby said, I don't trust the nigga that don't eat pork. I don't think that don't eat pork. It's madness. Right. The dietary laws is ridiculous here, man. There's no place to pick it, but make that dietary law, man. The baby. He said,
is he the one who keeps fighting everybody?
Yeah.
God. Only reason I say that, he might get caught up in them charges too.
That's how the check marks.
Because Lil Boosie said that, but guess what? He almost got his leg in.
At this point in time, where we're in now, there's really no such thing anymore as ignorance on Israel. You're just deliberately rebellious. You know what you got all these different fish that you can eat. You even got something called I think it's a pig fish or a pork fish, and that's lawful with fins and scales. But Jake gonna go at all these fish and eat a little damn sea cockroach and eat shit.
And then they do choose fish as catfish. A nigga will find up pork. Lamb. If you eat sheep,
Lamb. Ooh, lamb. I'm
like
like,
that. If I had glasses, that's when I would lift my glasses.
I do it for you.
God. That shit is
Well,
like, bro, that's a headache.
now that we're on this topic, on the abominations. It's the abomination of this world, man, and how wicked this place is. That's just one of a plethora of reasons why this place is to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. All right? Yeah, brother, gotta go ahead. I can bring out the food law if y'all want, but just scriptures on how abominable this place is.
Yeah, like you said, certain nations will at least have certain rules. That mindset is different than the American mindset. You don't see the problem. At the end of the day, it's all because of the problem.
Yeah, brother, gotta go ahead. All right, you wrap it up with the
Well, look, let's get we can go get
just everything.
This one, because honestly, like the brother said, at this point, if the living is going against the Most High, ignorance is no longer in the equation. You can go read
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
Right, so the pig, the swine, unclean, going down, it's essentially telling you all the animals that you can eat and all the animals that you can't eat. And it's safe indicator, because Jake might have questions on this lawful with this. Well, it gives a description of every animal that is safe. For example, for the fish, if it has fins and scales. Right. Good. So, honestly, Google shit.
Major things that you'll actually see in restaurants, even fast food, is just lawful stuff. Beef, chicken, like tuna. You really gotta go above and beyond and eat some fucking random.
You gotta go out your way.
Yeah, you really do.
You gotta go out your way, bro.
You're saying, you said when they ask the question, it's like, well, let's just have common sense. You don't need to be eating no goddamn alligator. What's the purpose of eating a snake? Oh, it tastes like chicken. Frog leg tastes like chicken. And nigga, just eat fucking chicken. So that's just common sense, man. Well, you gotta look up, brothers, keep saying that. That's cool too, but it's just common sense.
Yeah, websites, hell, use Amalek for that shit. They got culture websites, they tell you what's lawful and what's not.
That's like in the day, criminal ways. They see the world doing it, everybody else around them doing it well. Can't beat them joining them. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
That shit ain't, that's wrong, bro. We have a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
We have a different person compared to these fucking heathens. And I do have a scripture too, but whoever else got one.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is Isaiah 66, and I started at 16. It says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many."
And the crazy part is a lot of people are going to die just for eating pork because of their ignorance. We're not deliberately going on. So, go ahead.
Verse 17, "They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination."
But it's okay to eat that, though. It's okay to eat that. So I don't know what you're talking about.
It said in the abomination. So swine flesh and other abomination. Crab.
But it's okay to eat all that. So why your Habashi Mashah gonna come back to swarm people for eating when it's okay to eat? I'm confused.
Squid, shrimp.
Don't make no sense.
What's breaking their Lord? Get them lady on the spot.
And that's the thing, and they, the Christians talking about the law being done away with. Niggas still collecting tithes. So when we get past that argument, then we can start, we can talk about it.
Burning in hell too.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what for, because that means you can murder and commit adultery and all that, because there ain't no law.
That's part of the law.
Yeah.
So then the question comes, well, how am I sinning? How am I going on? What sinning according to what? You said the law was done away with.
Yeah,
like young man,
like you said, people say good and bad or right from wrong. You're saying, where do they get these basically these qualifications from? How do they know? Like, where is the foundation to where they can judge things off of? How are you going to judge something without standards, without a law to go off of? We know what sin is. We know what to avoid. We know, why people are perishing based off of the laws that the Most High has created. That's why every kingdom prior to the kingdom of heaven collapsed, because it's not based on the laws. Right. It's corruptible. Everything because it's out of order, it's not going to run. You're putting the wrong oil in your car. You're putting transmission fluid in your engine. That shit it's going to die, man.
They're really just cherry picking scriptures, man. That's really I like that scripture. I'm gonna follow that. Oh, I don't like that one, so I'm not gonna follow it.
You can't say you're in the truth doing that.
Yeah,
there ain't no picking here. You got.
This is what these Christians do. It's the scripture that say you can't serve the Most High man. You can't serve two masters. That's really what Christianity is. They're trying to quote unquote serve the Most High and then also still be in the world. You can't do that. You got to be either you're gonna be following it the correct way, or you just gonna be out here in this society which is foolish to the Most High. That's it. You're gonna pick a side. You can't do both.
Revelations 3.
Yeah, Revelation 3.
Yeah, lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm.
It says, I'll finish it out. It says, in the mouth shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. And that's it on there.
Yeah, there's even an account where I can't remember who it was, but they wouldn't even act like they would eat swine's flesh.
Con.
Maccabees.
Yeah.
Second Maccabees 6.
He act like he was going to stay. You know?
Pretending.
That shit through, man. Morals, integrity. And we stand firmly on that, man. And especially when all hell breaks loose, guaranteed you're going to be tempted just by a bunch of bullshit around you, food-wise. Yeah. You're going to walk into some place, it's going to be nothing but sausage, bacon, you know, catfish, all types of shit. It's food. It ain't lawful food. You're going to be the only one to walk, you know, you might see a group of people, somebody might offer to you. Go on, man, get some of this, man, this shit.
Free.
You know, niggas going to be shooting squirrels and shit. You know,
Just might post it over a fire. Hey, man, I got that deep fried squirrel for you.
yeah, nah, man. You know, nah, we get Lord willing with those men, and we have integrity, man. We have standards. No, I'm not succumbing to the low life level, you know, of eating a squirrel.
And
You gotta be retarded ass nigga to eat squirrel.
So what we talk about with the dietary law, literally everything you can't eat is just forms of meat. You can literally eat any fucking other thing there is. All the fruits and vegetables, there's no off plant. You can eat everything else. It's just ridiculous,
Honestly,
man. It's generous.
They make it hard. They make it hard, bro. And then, like you said, not only is it not eating all plants, but there's such of a vast selection of lawful meats that you can, you know, enjoy. If you go to a nigga and tell him you can eat giraffe, he's gonna look at you crazy.
Yep.
Shit. Imagine them neck bones. Come on. You tripping.
You can back it up with the biscuit slaw.
Yeah.
You know, because it goes to the hoof and the
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, is that it on that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Baruch 4, 1 and 2. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
But real quick, this say Jacob and Esau. Well, it's just a Jacob. Oh.
And it ain't just talking about Jacob, like the one man.
Oh yeah.
Disclaimer.
Nigga. See, it's only Jacob.
Because I mean, name one thing that separates Israel from everybody else, other than the law, realistically, because we're the Lord's portion. Everything else, Jake can dribble a basketball. You don't give a fuck about that shit. You don't care about your 40-inch vertical. Are you going to keep his laws or not?
Right.
That's what separates us from these other nations, man.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with because Jake can do
Physical
certain things.
attributes.
He can dance. Who gives a fuck about that? What separates us and makes us better than everybody else is our integrity, our standards, our morals.
Yep.
You know, our heritage, our
Yeah.
customs. That's what makes us better than these fucking, you know, bullshit ass heathens out here. Biting rat heads off, having butt sex, all this other shit. We're supposed to be different, man. You're supposed to be holy.
And you got, and the crazy part about it is you got our people practicing, let alone perfecting those heathen customs, surpassing them, teaching them how to do their own shit. Because where I quoted earlier, John 8, you know, you're your father the devil, you know, because right now our people are heathens, man. You ain't in this truth, you a heathen. Point blank, period. You a heathen that got dreads. You a heathen that can do a backflip. Like, yeah. We don't give a fuck about that. Niggas, there's a plethora of Jake dancing in New York and doing dances and shit. We don't give a fuck about that shit.
A nigga is called a king because he can dunk from the free throw line.
Right. Or he's called a king because he treats his black woman so perfectly. We don't give a fuck about that shit, man. You want to know you about to sit here and teach this word and get your life together. That's what he's worried about, man.
Yep.
Well,
It's Ecclesiastes, or Sirach 15, verse 13. The Lord hated all abomination, And they that fear the Most High love it not.
Yeah, the Most High hate all abomination, including the foods. You know, and like I said, the things that y'all be eating, it's like, oh, these are literally tools used by the Most High to cleanse the earth. If you put anything, whatever you put in front of a pig, it will eat it, guaranteed.
Especially the more vile it is.
Yeah,
and that'll be perfect.
You know, the shrimp, crab, and lobster, you know, they on the at the bottom, you know, cleansing the seafloor. I mean, yeah, underwater cockroaches.
Catfish cleaning the waters inside rivers and stuff, pulling them all out.
But the irony of it is, you know, because we liken it to the, you know, the like shrimp, for example. It's the sea, the cockroach of the sea. You give a nigga a cockroach, he will not touch it. Give a nigga a shrimp, he's gonna ask you, where's the sauce? The cocktail sauce.
And get some more of that.
Right.
What a potatoes.
Right. Go ahead.
I got a scripture, but just to add to your point, Jake will eat a pig, but he won't eat a vulture.
Yeah. Right. Same thing.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas love pork so much. Y'all need to be hunting vultures. Vulture hunting. You know. And turkeys are not vultures.
Right.
You damn imbeciles.
You put a vulture with some chickens, and that vulture is not gonna fit in. You put some turkeys with some chickens. The turkeys and the chickens are right there. They together. They like how they do all the same stuff. Okay, turkeys are not vultures.
Yeah, that shit. Go ahead.
This is for the point Malachi made. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 7. Yahweh Shemel Shai did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people, but because Yahweh Shemel Shai loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, have Yahweh Shemel Shai brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondman from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yahweh Shemel Shai, that power, he is the Most High, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Going to the point where Malachi said, man, the Lord doesn't care about you being able to dunk or do a triple backflip, or you can hit niggas like Bobby Boucher, man. The Lord chose us because of the fact that he made a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And not only that, man, it's because he gave us law, statutes, and commandments that we have the ability to keep, you know, to the best of our ability. You know, but that's what Yahweh Shemel Shai chose. It ain't got nothing to do with physical things. It's because of the spirit that he gave us, and it goes down to, you know, the oath he made.
Because name one time we prevailed against our enemies without the Lord.
Never. Judith 5:20.
Was never because of physical stature. Hell, look at David and Goliath. The story that y'all.
Yeah, he wouldn't have won that without the Lord.
Yeah.
Right. At all. He wouldn't even came.
They love that story. Don't even.
And he gives glory to the Lord.
Jake called all the time in their song. I felt like David when he fought Goliath. Like, they don't be saying that shit.
Nigga, no, you didn't. Shut up. Go ahead.
2 Maccabees 4 and 15 to 16. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all, by reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose custom they followed so earnestly, and unto whom they desired to be like in all things. So that's the definition of a degenerate. They threw off their customs, and what makes them the greatest people on the planet decide to be less than them. Be the base man on top of that, because the Greeks at that time were the Edomites. It don't make no sense. There's no logical reason for you to want to go from being God's kings and priests on the earth to being a fucking heathen. There's no logic. You can't give me one reason why that would sound better.
And on the flip side, every other nation is trying to be us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially you.
And they're doing it right now.
Yeah.
And most of our people don't have a problem with that.
It's pure retardation.
That
You
is
know?
fine.
Yeah, retardation at its finest.
Jake's so used to being at a low level, they're comfortable there. You know, being at a lower state, they're comfortable there.
And y'all, they love to talk about the physical aspects, but use that as an indicator, nigga. You don't think that you are a chosen people? Nigga, you can jump higher than the rest of these niggas. So if you want to take it on that type of carnal shit, that should activate
More desirable.
your spiritual mind of damn, maybe I am better than these niggas.
Like every race on the planet wants you. Like you a man. It's like man.
Even white women love you.
No, I'm saying I'm like every race wants you.
You know,
Every race
they
wants
got that one question. It's 3 words. I ain't even gonna say it. Go ahead.
Well, the bottom line is, if they weren't for our forefathers, you know, from all the tribes and Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the judges and all that, the men of the Bible, if they didn't fall and serve the Lord, our ancestors, we would have nothing. We would have no history, nothing to back up what we say. But because those men actually stood firm for the Lord and had faith and were humble, that's why we're able to say these things today. That's why we have these different historical events that we can reflect on. We wouldn't have that shit if they were like our people today. The Lord fucking chose somebody else, man. But he's keeping his promise. That's the only reason why we're still here. That's why Malachi 3:6 exists. You know, he's going to continue to deal with Jacob. But that's why at the point now, 2/3, they just, here in America, they just got to get chopped off, man. Because otherwise, we're going to be here forever.
Leave it as it is.
I got this Psalm 124. I'm gonna read the whole thing. It's only 8 verses. Psalm 124, first verse. If it had not been Yahweh who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been Yahweh who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. That proud waters has ultimately gone to Esau Edom, because he's a proud man. He's not talking about a stream of water. Show me some proud waters. Take a quick picture and just let me know it's proud. But now this is talking about Esau Edom. The proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be Yahweh, who had not given us as a prey to their teeth. Verse 7. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. What is a fowler? Someone catches bird. So the scripture said our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of a fowler. So if you see a bird get caught in a trap, it's a wrap. Yeah, it's not getting out. But we're likening to that. We were caught up in Esau Edom society. We was thinking that, you know what, go to school, get a good education, you know, do this. After 40 years, I could fucking die. That's what this nigga got set up for me to work till I'm 75 damn years old, retire, die at 70 fucking 6. But that's what this nigga really got set up for. That's a trap. But see, that's what our people think. They're gonna work till they fucking die. But see, as the scripture said, our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of Yahweh, not Jesus Christ. Our help is in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, who made heaven and earth. So we are in the trap of what this damn devil got set up for. Each of these brothers on this side, other side, we was all in that snare. Some longer than others, but our soul is escaped. I just want to bring that up.
The point is, no matter how old you are, you got out. And you got out in the nick of time, too. Okay? Because we're looking for something better. These niggas walking around and shit, they don't know. They're not thinking about the kingdom of Yahweh. They're not, no hope. There's no hope, man. You know? We got something to look forward to. Now, we got to handle our business in society. Brothers got kids. Brothers got jobs. You know, brothers want hot water. You know? So we got to do what we got to do, but that's our main focus. Yeah, cold showers. Cold showers are good, but the point, but the point is, we're not, because the scriptures say in Jeremiah 51 verse 6, hey, flee from Babylon. We spiritually left. No, we didn't get our passports and go overseas.
I gotta stop saying this.
People are saying it. You know, we used to hear it back a couple years back about that shit. You know, Jacob going to Cancun and shit. not literally Cancun, but you know what I mean. But we're spiritually detached from this place. We don't give a fuck. We're at the point where we're waiting for this mandatory RFID chip. We're waiting for these missiles to be blown off. We're ready to be made pilgrims among the earth. We're ready for this shit to kick off, and that's our mindset.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna keep clocking in. We're gonna keep having to go through this devil because we're scheduled for payments. And it says Ruth the 3rd chapter. We're gonna still deal with it, but that's just our mindset, man.
We're gonna go to him for the one of all things until we don't need shit for this nigga.
Right.
That's why we're gonna put our faith completely in the Lord.
We're coming in there.
I just wondered because you was saying, I saw this dude, you know how they, different people videos pop up the thumbnail. So the dude from Hebrews to Negroes, y'all done seen something. He said, "Is it time to leave America for Africa?" This was 8 days ago. So people still on it.
And the niggas still with that stupid ass African bullshit. But if Jake got the proper understanding, we didn't just magically just form in Africa. We fled to Africa from Roman captivity, man, which that was prophecy. We fled there because we looked like Hamites. There was a way for us to we can maybe blend in because we somewhat look like these niggas. They dark like me. I can blend in. That was the whole point of Jake fleeing to Africa. But no, you trying to say you're African? Okay, then go bathe in cow piss. Go underneath that nigga udder and let him do his due underneath you. And then get that, what's that shit? The shit for their neck. Rings. Get them gauges. Let your ears stretch all the way out.
The sonic rings.
Yeah. The big mouth guard that's kicking your mouth with. Do that shit. If you're African, do that shit.
He got a drum in his lip.
But no, Jake ain't gonna do that shit.
Let go of all the Israelite things.
Yeah.
All the music all the music, really. Everything that Israel created, let go of that then.
Right.
Don't keep wearing our styles and talking how we talk because you want to be a Hamite, right?
Right.
So
Hamite.
let go of everything you know so-called black people and Latinos do and go fucking do that shit.
All black African niggas, go do that shit, man.
T-shirt.
Jake
Cut a triangle.
Jake want to say he's African. He want to get that dumbass shirt, that dumbass colorful shirt. Yeah, the she gets like that.
That's Jake's stuff.
Oh, it's Jake.
That's Jake.
It's Slack.
Well, they got shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They got that. They got that African chain. They got the logo of Africa on it.
Yeah,
E5.
That's
Niggas was bobbing and shit.
Weird, man.
In a circle.
And just to add on what Kyle said, man, even if you go to the Bermuda Triangle, if the Lord want to get you, He's gonna get you. You can't escape. You can't escape the Lord's judgment.
It says that when the missiles go off, the waves that's gonna be created in the world rocks from the you asking me something way by the waves.
Fly right off the map.
Just come on.
Hey, in those days, that the flat earthers, they go hope the hell that the earth really is round. The Lord might just pop their ass right out of here.
Well, to prove that you can't escape from judgment, ask these guys right here. Because they got all the resources and finance to so-called escape from judgment, and even they gonna get tracked down and hunted, man, like animals.
We've been going up into their space stations, going down into the depths of the oceans, hiding in these deep underground military. They're gonna be able to do everything.
There's
Ain't gonna be enough.
scriptures referencing what the brother just mentioned about these niggas hiding, and they still not gonna be able to escape judgment.
They don't have even 1% of the resources these guys have.
This nigga barely got a passport. Barely has a passport. They're like, bro, you and Jake. Jake kills me with that, thinking that the ways of the devil is going to work for them. That one nigga we was talking to in Memphis, he was like, my dad and my granddad or some shit. One of them black ass niggas. One black nigga of his black ass family knows how to make bullets. Nigga.
Oh, the NFAC dude?
Yeah,
They ain't gonna help you, man.
It's like, and
Get the scripture on that.
you got one nigga that you're referencing that can make bullets. And this nigga Esau is coming with hella clips.
That nigga saying direct energy weapon. Dude, that nigga sitting down there playing Call of Duty. Hit the button while you making that one bullet.
He ain't even got to. He can send a
He'll
drone.
send his daughter
He
at
ain't got no aim.
I'm training my son to shoot.
Right.
Yeah,
Niggas are sadly mistaken by the gun range, man. That's not going to help you. That's not your blessing. give it up. We're not saying you can't have a gun, but damn, you know, we just
faith in it.
Yeah, you think you finna be able on some John Wick shit? No, bro. Your name is Charles. Your name is Charles Johnson the third. Your ass ain't finna be able to John Wick nothing. Okay?
34.
Day from the block. Think he finna do some John Wick.
Little Ron. Go ahead.
Psalms 44 and 6. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us.
Right, so that's Esau's blessing. How you gonna win that battle with Esau's blessing? No, your blessing is the spirit, man. Yep. Do anything spiritual and get right with your Yahweh Shema Shai. That's what's gonna help you.
Right.
You know?
You call on Yahweh Shema Shai, you receive spiritual powers. This nigga gonna call him a Baphomet and be sitting there. Look like the standing emoji.
Stick, man. Stick.
Through. You know, you can't do nothing.
Satan ain't gonna be fucking with them pretty soon. Because Satan got them in a trick bag too. He knows they're about to go down.
Satan, when you really think about it, he really don't even fuck with them. He's just doing his job.
He probably hates him.
Yeah.
Satan's righteous. He's gonna do the rituals.
And see somebody here say that Satan's righteous. Oh, y'all wicked. No. Y'all
start bugging the hell out.
Black Negroes. No, man. Satan is righteous. He does everything that he's supposed to do according to the will of Yahweh Shema Shai.
He's one of the Most High's best employees. Hey, he's an angel.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Psalm 144. And I started the first verse, read down to the second verse. Blessed be the Yahweh, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war,
right,
and my fingers to fight, my goodness and my fortress.
Any type of physical, attributes that you may have is all through Yahweh Shema Shai anyway. You know, because we ain't saying, that don't mean Jake. No, shit, Jake gonna beat your ass, but we just ain't, depending on that. But Jake know how to tussle. You know what I'm saying? Get down with the get down. But we damn sure ain't finna trust in this boat when the time comes. Go ahead.
My high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me.
Yeah. So we trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. We don't trust in the weapons. We don't go into the gym. Once again, we're not saying you can't have a gun. We're not saying you can't go get, muscle the hell up. Be my guest. But just know, bodily exercise, properly little.
I don't think that's going to be the only way you can make it.
I mean, shit, you could never ran a mile a day in your life, and now you
running not be running.
Yeah, you running marathons around these damn devils, man. Let alone shit fly.
It's the spirit.
Yeah. It don't even matter. Okay, but hey, certain things may help. It might be. It's not necessarily not profitable. Yeah, get you some running in. In case you do got to be on the run for some shit. But ultimately, we gonna depend on the spirit. Go ahead.
I got this.
Okay,
2 Corinthians.
You do? You got one? Okay. You got one too?
2 Corinthians chapter 3. I'm gonna read 2 Corinthians 10, 3 through the 5th verse. But though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. And this goes back to, like you're saying, just because a Christian pull out scripture, we can still pull it out. Like you were saying, we can still pull out John 3:16. We understand what it means. Because it's a powerful scripture, because a Christian will pull this out. But we understand they don't have the spirit of the Lord by Shem. So 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down a stronghold. Stronghold are stuff on your mind. Hell, stronghold on their mind. All the different doctrines, the virgin birth, so-called a plantation Christian, that's a stronghold on people's mind. So the word going through the proper knowledge of the scriptures, we are able to break down the stronghold. We can go through the precepts showing that hell is a condition. It's not a place where you're going to burn for all eternity. That's madness. I thought you said the Lord was merciful.
That's right.
Like, damn.
Yeah, I thought he was all loving. And what's the point of hell then?
So for 16 years worth of sin, you get the bird for all fucking. What's that dude that just died? What is nigga? No.
Lil Key. Is he a rapper?
Yeah,
Lil Key. Lil Key.
You what, 21, 24?
24.
So 24 years, now he get the bird for all eternity.
Well, if the law is done away with, and nothing matters, ain't no sin, then how the hell, what's the purpose of hell? How do you go there? There's supposed to be a way to go there.
How do you go to heaven?
Vacation, huh?
Oh yeah, then how you go to heaven?
How are you good? What are you good based off?
You know what? Christianity leads you with confusion.
That's it. More questions than answers.
Yeah, you got
So
more
many
questions than
questions.
answers,
So little answers.
and you just threw it in there.
It's verse 5. Casting down imaginations, even and every high thing that exalted himself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. So through the scripture, we have to cast down these different imaginations. We can go into the scripture and say, you know what? Hell is a good position. We can go through different precepts, proving that we can bring out a lot of scriptures with the word hell in. So my thing is, I thought hell was when you die, but we go in the camp in the wilderness. Those different men, all their belongings, including themselves, went into hell while they was alive. But they said hell is somewhere you go when you die. So I would pose that question to them, and then, like you say, prove all things. They be stuck.
Another example.
Fuck. I'm stuck.
Another example. Jonah, when he got eaten by that whale. You know, he was in the belly of hell. You know, that's a condition.
That was fucking hell for him.
Yeah.
So you just sit
For
there
a
and
whole whale.
Good fish.
Then the parable of the rich man and Lazarus.
Exactly. Because you say he brought him into Abraham's bosom. How is this possible? Like, how is it you gonna be into another man's bosom? Like, it's they don't understand. But yeah, that was it. You know, in 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5. I'm gonna read it one more time. Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Mashiach.
Going into forsaking the society, forsaking the world. 2 Ezra 2 and verse 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand. And the heathen ain't talking about, the natural born heathen like the Edomites, Chinese, Japanese. It's speaking about the Israelites that have forgotten the ways of the Lord and followed the customs of the heathen. And now, because Yahweh said, regard him as a heathen and a publican man. So, we was once heathen, but now, we've come into the light of the Lord and seeking the Lord Yahweh. It says, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand that shall come in the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Flee the shadow of this world, receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly. And that's what we're doing. We're waiting on the Lord Yahweh Shemiyashai. We're waiting for him to crack these clouds and, save us from this hell, man. From this low miserable condition. And, we're ready for what is to come on the next side, which is going to be an everlasting rest, everlasting salvation. And, but first we got to flee from the shadow of this world. And like it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. So, we're seeking the kingdom of heaven, and, everything that we may desire on this side is going to be added unto us times infinity. 10 times, man.
Revelations 5, 9 to 10. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, Yahushua, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, like the brother was saying, all the heathen came out of those ways. The only reason we were able to come out of these ways and not flee the shadow of this world is because of Yahushua's sacrifice. Verse 10, it has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Reign on the earth. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established upon the earth. We're not gonna be in the clouds.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
It's an imagination.
Yes.
That's
That's
the
imagination.
Lord's prayer.
Yeah.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the earth. You know.
Yeah, it's Salaki, Daniel 2 talks about the stone when it hit the statue, it said that the kingdom filled the whole world. Something like that.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna have like, because really Esau rules the whole world, but certain empires they only rule certain sections. Like we're talking about by the Mediterranean area. Yeah. We're gonna literally have everything. Ain't gonna be no tiny ass country where they just do what the hell they want. We already know. We know about you.
We don't need who you think we sent to get on your ass to think you doing something? We gonna have shit. We gonna be able to send Satan on these damn niggas, man. You know, pop shot. This time. He been fucking me all day.
He ain't got his book.
Right, yeah.
Okay, let's put her.
I told that nigga carry 3
Fuck
bricks
the
today. Go get that nigga. When I say bricks, I'm talking.
They're really gonna get the same.
Yeah.
No, they really not
Council
gonna.
gotta
They
go
really
get-
not even gonna get the Sabbath. On the Sabbath, they'll get physical rest, but they're gonna be so fucked up in the mind, like the brother said, demons and all the physical torment we put on them. They're not gonna be resting. You're not gonna get a fucking cotton bed and a blanket, you bitch ass nigga.
It ain't like demons stop fucking with us on the Sabbath. Right. Shit, that's probably gonna kick up. It's just gonna kick up on y'all, and y'all ain't gonna have the spirit. So you won't be able to, you gonna be y'all are 100% flesh, man. You know, so you ain't gonna be able to, let me just tap into
Not
the
gonna be able
spirit.
to discern.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
Yeah, let me tap into the spirit. Let me go do a lesson.
Yeah.
Imagine
He ain't
that.
gonna be able to rebuke me.
Right.
He ain't gonna fast.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try it fast this time. Because your forefather didn't do it in Genesis 25, but try it this time. Because if your weak ass can't pick up them bricks, you through. So don't even try it fast.
You gonna pick up them bricks, nigga.
I need you fully fueled up.
Right.
You destroyed anyway.
Right.
Them Red Bulls
Right.
Red Bull's gonna give you wings.
Right. You guys on?
Judith chapter 5, verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before thy power, they prospered, because the Most High that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, where it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. Basically, and that's a historical account from Angkor the Emirate, detailing how once we're aligned with our power, Yahweh Shemel Shah, we're unbeatable. But if we're going off against Yahweh Shemel Shah, we get in situations like this, where we have the whole 2/3 club, we have niggas, degenerate plans,
We're down and out.
kind,
We're on the ground and everybody's kicking us.
right?
Everybody,
Yeah.
the nation knew that back then.
Yeah, because I think in the book of Joshua, I think the guy he had took something, but they started losing the battle.
Right.
They had to get him out the camp.
One of the guys stole.
They stole.
He kept some.
He kept some.
Buried it.
So
No,
like
he didn't steal. He wasn't supposed
He
to take
was. That's
something.
it. That's what it was. And then he had buried it, hid some of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
they had,
And they burned him.
they had burned
And
him
his family.
And his family.
and his family. Because hey,
I know. Okay, yeah. I
yeah,
know
that was the
something.
count.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
they weren't right with their power. So the Lord was like, "This is what got to be done," and then went back kicking
Yeah,
ass and taking names.
that shows the importance too of moving as a body as one accord. Because the slightest person doing some shit like that is gonna fuck everybody up.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Well, even like I was thinking about earlier, I think it's in Numbers. You had two Israelites that were having sex, pretty much during like the time of idol worship or something, during a plague, and the high priest Phineas, he came and thrust a spear through both of them. So,
Yeah,
Lord
and
don't fuck around.
it appeased the he ran in
they
that
were in
camp.
the temple or something.
I think I know you're talking about the valid man. He ran in there. I forgot what
Yeah,
was
yeah, because of his fervor,
Because
his,
his fervor.
his vigor, his zeal.
Yeah, he's ran in that camp where all the different mighty men.
Right.
He's ran in there.
Yeah, his zeal.
When I read that the first time, I was like, "Ew!" Can you imagine they just doing like missionary, the spirit just stab both. That's a strong ass dude too, stabbing it through both of them like a damn kebab.
Hey, you know you made a battle cry too.
Hey, yeah.
What else? Anything else?
All right, with that, hey, we're going to go ahead and close out. All right, Lord willing, this is edifying to your elect. Before we close, once again, giving all praise and all glory.
To Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash.
Hey, double honors to the apostles. We answer great wisdom in the new world. Taught us the true leaders of Israel today, whether you receive it or not. Peace, much love, citation to them for your elect. Brothers, keep pushing and keep fighting this good fight of faith. And let no man take your crown. To the next one, Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Baba Ball.